Hey Wobble Gang, I do hope you are doing great. My name is Ollie. Hit that subscribe button if you love a Reddit story. Now let's get into our first story of the day. Our first story of the day comes from Miss Rocto in the Amithias Hole subreddit, and it says, "Am I the a-hole for not siding with my wife over our son's ex-girlfriend's pregnancy? Our son, who just turned 16, had a girlfriend who is 16, almost 17, but they broke up about a month ago. About 3 weeks ago, we were informed by her parents that she is pregnant. She is slightly showing. The dates line up with my son's relationship. My wife and I went into full panic mode. We waited a couple of days before telling our son, who didn't know. He immediately said, 'It's not mine, I never slept with her.' I didn't believe him because I know he is active. He did the sensible thing and asked me for protection. However, he kept on saying they never did it. He said he cheated on her. I had a heart-to-heart with him and he is an absolute troublemaker, but I began to believe him. He said he always uses protection and he has asked for restocks. My wife, on the other hand, still didn't believe him. Both families met. My wife started the conversation just accepting that our son is the father and was trying to figure out a solution, funding, etc. My son spoke up, saying it's not his baby as they never had intercourse. He was genuinely angry. Then he made a comment that I'm going to rephrase. Apparently they only ever did a certain act which can't result in a baby and it was unsatisfactory, so he never went any further with her. An absolute troublemaker, and we were furious with him over it. His ex-girlfriend admits they rarely engaged but explained the event, the when and where, and I will say it was believable too. I know he's a complete liar. I know he's an absolute troublemaker, but I believe him still. My wife, however, is angry with me for playing into his nonsense. She said I'm part of the boy culture. She said children born to teen parents are more likely to be teen parents. And we were both 17 when my wife got pregnant. She said I'm worsening the situation by not living in reality, and she has left to figure out what to do on her own. To her point, I am hands-off on further meetings with the other family. I don't believe we should have those discussions until it's proven he's the father. Am I the a-hole? Also, this is really ranty. I'm sorry, but I needed to let off some steam. Just to add, her parents don't want to do a paternity test until after the child is born. They said it could harm the baby, but apparently it's harmless, so I don't know. So we cannot get a test done before then. Courts can't order one until birth. Another addition. I'm in the UK. I swear this story's got me all twisted up. I mean, here's the deal. You're caught in the middle of a teenage soap opera, and the stakes couldn't be any higher. 16-year-olds, pregnancy rumours, and accusations flying left and right. What's going on? The son, at first sight, looks like a smooth-talking rogue, but even he's protesting his innocence. This guy, right? He says they never even went there. Now, that's a curveball I didn't see coming. But then he drops this bomb saying they only did the whole "it can't make a baby" act. Holy moly, this kid. Yet somehow he got you thinking, maybe he's telling the truth. But here's where it crumbles, because your wife is having none of it. She's ready to rally the family troops and sort this situation out, J'accuse style. She sees through what she thinks is his boyish bullcrap and is absolutely convinced you're enabling a cultural crisis. And seriously, what's up with the no paternity test until the baby's born? Like, who made this rule up? Ultimately, here's what's going to drive me nuts. There's just too many maybes and what-ifs floating around. Are you the jerk? Maybe, maybe not. But either way, you're stuck in this reality TV mess till you can test the truth post-birth. Seriously, I'm feeling your headache from here. If you've got takes, vent away in the comments. I could use some insight on how anyone stays sane here. Traffic Additional says, stop fighting and get a paternity test. Teenagers are not the brightest when it comes to sex and pregnancy. The paternity testing will clear up the whole who did what, and you can proceed rationally from there. A Reddit user says, she said children born to teen parents are more likely to become teen parents, and we were both 17 when my wife got pregnant. Which seems to be influencing this crisis. Everyone sucks here because no one is thinking of handling the crisis in a logical way. All the out-of-control emotions are making things worse for every single person involved in this drama. Nothing concrete can be done until paternity is proven, which can be done immediately if desired. The only danger is to the wallet. Seek advice from a lawyer and get into family therapy. You and your wife are really handling this situation poorly with your son. You are forging a future adult relationship with him at this point, and it may not turn out well. A Reddit user says, not the a-hole. It's not like this needs to be a mystery. Once the baby is born, do the test and you'll know for sure. No one has to guess whether he's lying or not. Edited to add, everyone wasting their time telling me the test can be done now. Please read the original poster's comments and proceed accordingly. There's a valid reason that I said what I said. OP responds, the other family will not do the test for safety reasons, even though it is safe, until after the birth. Cannot force it. A Reddit user says, no one is the a-hole here, I guess. Like, you are not wrong to want to believe him, but your wife is also not wrong to think he's lying. Honestly, the best thing you guys can do is get a paternity test done, regardless of whether you think it lines up time-wise or not. A paternity test will settle it completely, and there are non-invasive paternity tests that can be done during pregnancy. It's a blood test done around the same time as the NIPT 10 to 13 weeks, and it will test the fetal DNA in the mom's blood against the provided potential father's blood DNA. Do that. Stay in contact with the family so you can push for that. As soon as the test results come back, you'll know whether or not your family can step back. Follow up on whether or not he's the dad with accurate and actual sex education info. There's absolutely no reason why you and your wife can't sit him down and let him know he's acting irresponsibly and needs to straighten up. Especially if he's not the dad, it's the perfect time to show him exactly what could happen. If he is the dad, support him, but also give a strong dose of reality by not allowing him to be neglectful. Someone says, don't they want that paternity test because they doubt it too? And by postponing it, they can scam you into paying for medical bills during the pregnancy. Your wife, who is convinced that she will be a grandmother, will probably start paying the moment they ask. Not the a-hole. She should not believe either kid because they both can lie. The girl can be just as big of a liar as your son can be. Only proof will be a paternity test. Do this as soon as possible. Maybe court-ordered? A week later, the OP comes with an update, and it says, I didn't think I'd be coming back so soon, and this is probably more suited to an advice subreddit rather than an Am I the A-hole subreddit. Cursing and sexual references are present. Short story. There is a text message that backs up her story. Another meeting went worse than the first. He's not coming home. The relationship between mother and son is strained, and so is the husband-wife relationship. His ex has text messages to a friend from around the time in which she discussed my son's large organ with a mark and the type of intimacy they had. The messages align with her account and go beyond the oral activity that he had mentioned. My wife gloated, but anyway, she invited them over without my knowledge. It was chaos. She, our son, and I were sitting on one side of the table. He told his mum that she should sit on the other side and he wouldn't start a conversation until she moved over. She eventually did. Our son was very quiet at the beginning. He admitted he has the mark and is large, something I never needed to know, but he maintained it was just oral. He started winking at his ex's mother. When she asked why he was winking at her, he said, "Your husband is gayer than Philip Schofield, so I'm sure you'd like a go on my large." He turned to his ex's dad and said, "Philip, his name is not Philip, it's not for you," followed by a derogatory term. I was speechless at it all. My wife told my son to stop denying it. My wife started planning again. I said I'd still want a DNA test, preferably now, but immediately at birth. They stuck to the test being done at birth. My son spoke up, saying that this is not how things will work. He told them that they get the test done now, or he will refuse to get tested until he's finished college, so approximately 6 years from now. He said courts won't expect maintenance from a kid. And in that time, the person who birthed him, my wife, will have spent so much money and will love a kid that is unrelated to her. He said hopefully that spirals the person into a very dark place. They said they'd just get a court order for it. He said a court cannot force him. Something about autonomy. He seemed confident, and it turns out he's right. He was walking out when his mother grabbed his arm to bring him back in. He said, "Get your dirty hand off me, you person." He said he'd fight back if she didn't let go. I told her to let him go. He said he was staying at a friend's place. He's been staying there a bit. I went out and said I'd drive him. He agreed. During the car journey, he said he knows I don't believe him anymore, but he didn't engage with her. He said school is horrible, social media is horrible, and your wife, he didn't call her mum, is a terrible person. I said you can't speak about your mum like that. He said she's a woman that gave birth to him and minded him, that's all. He said she doesn't care how he is coping, she's never even asked. When we got to his friend's place, he cried a bit. He said it's nothing to do with me, but he won't be home much anymore. He said hopefully I'd still hang out with him. I know his friend's father from the pub. He started talking to me. I was going to give him money because my son is over there a lot, but he refused. He said my son told him everything. He's a counsellor. He said girls can exaggerate to friends and boys can lie. He said he knows my son since he was tiny and he believes him. He also said he might have more information than I do. No idea? He warned that we are going to lose him if we are not careful. I went home and told my wife if she so much as says one word to me or our son about the baby without a test being done, we are over. If she doesn't apologize to our son in the next few days and beg him for forgiveness, we are done. I, sadly, do mean it. It wasn't said in the heat of the moment. By her reaction, I think we will separate for now. I do love her, childhood sweethearts, but my son is my priority. It is not a matter of believing him, I probably don't. It's a matter of being there for him. He was always difficult, but his behavior is erratic and almost asking for help. It's worrying how quickly he has changed. He is the priority for me right now. Counseling, and plenty of it. A Reddit user says, you can get a DNA test during pregnancy without harm by choosing a non-invasive prenatal paternity test, which involves a blood draw from the mother and a cheek swab from the father. This test is safe for both the mother and the unborn child as it uses free-floating fetal DNA from the mother's blood, unlike risky invasive procedures like amniocentesis or chorionic villus sampling. So why won't they do the DNA test now? Why not just put the entire argument to rest with proof? OP responds, you can't get that done without the girl's permission. They won't do it. They have this weird belief that it might harm the baby. But it's just blood. All right, buckle up folks, because this one's a doozy. First things first, can we just address the absolute circus that this entire family drama has turned into? I mean, what am I even reading? You have a son caught in a scandalous whirlwind, a wife who's ready to point fingers based on gossip and text messages, and an OP trying to pick up the pieces of what's left of his sanity. The son, in particular, seems like he's going through this rebellious phase that's way beyond normal teenage angst. Winking at someone's mum, throwing out gay slurs like they're going out of style. Are you kidding me? That's just unreal. And I gotta say, OP's stuck in the middle trying to be dad of the year while his marriage is on the rocks. Can you really blame him for setting the record straight with mum? It's not even about who's right or wrong. It's about looking out for his kid, even when he's acting like a total jerk. My advice to OP, get that kid in some serious counseling. Because at this point, I don't even know anymore. But hey, drop your thoughts below because I need therapy after this roller coaster. Seriously, I hope it works out for this family, but damn, they got a long way to go. A month later, the OP comes with another update and it says, my wife and I separated, but we are on good terms. I think she understands why I moved out, but we still want to handle the situation differently. I'm living in a flat with my son. He seems happier. The good news is that his ex's parents agreed last Thursday to do a paternity test. That is booked for this Wednesday. I don't know what brought on this sudden change. I told my son they had agreed. He asked to meet his ex and her parents to apologize. He thanked and apologized to his ex's parents for what he said. They were very good to accept the apology, although I do think he deserved an apology too. He told his ex that he's not starting anything, but that they both know it's not his. She still insisted it's his. I asked if maybe he wanted to apologize to his mother, or at least have a discussion with her. He said he won't apologize to her and he won't forgive her, even if she apologizes to him. He said he hates her and always will. It's still an utter mess. He won't speak to her. If she visits our flat, he leaves. Saturday night, I told him I won't be angry if he has been lying, but if he is, I'd prefer him to be honest rather than find out by the test. He again said it's not his. Shortly after that, he asked me to promise I wouldn't get mad if he told the truth. He said he doesn't want labels, but the reason it went no further with his ex is that he can't stay up with girls and he uses the raincoats, but not with girls. I couldn't respond as he went to bed. I told him Sunday morning I'm fine with him, whatever he is. Admittedly, it was a surprise. I did ask about the Philip Schofield comment he made against his ex's dad, and he said nothing like that ever happened. He said it's a guy his own age. I didn't push it any more than that. He wants it kept quiet, so here I am as I can't tell others, but it'd be a shock at this point if it's his. You know what blows my mind? The way some families turn into a real-life soap opera overnight. So we've got this separated but amicable couple, right? And living with his son, our dude finally finds a spark of joy. Then boom, paternity test drama because the ex claims the kid's his. But props to the ex's parents for at least agreeing to a paternity test. I mean, that's step one in avoiding next-level insanity. And honestly, the son's a top-notch guy for offering apologies all around, but seriously, a little sorry back wouldn't hurt, right? And speaking of drama, the son dropping the sexual identity bombshell was like watching a twist in a thriller. Kudos to dad for staying chill, but this beef with mum, ice cold. It's nuclear-level family drama we're dealing with. I mean, this whole thing is a circus. If that test says it ain't his, someone owes the popcorn back. Tell me I'm crazy, but can you even imagine what's coming next? Our next story comes from Helpful-ish Haunt in the Am I the Asshole subreddit, and it says, am I the a-hole for stepping in to do mum things for my niece because my sister-in-law is disabled? I have a niece, Gigi, who is 10 years old, and she is the daughter of my brother Chris and his wife, Anna. Anna became disabled when Gigi was 4. It was triggered by an infection, and ever since, she has been mostly using a wheelchair. Obviously, this has been hard on their family. Anna was the center of their home, even though she had a demanding job. She had to quit her job, which is tough on their finances, and she is no longer able to be as involved with Gigi's school and extracurricular activities due to her fatigue and accessibility issues. I help as much as I can by doing school pickup and driving her to dance practice, and going to school events if Chris can't make it, such as chaperoning field trips. My husband and I even took Gigi to Disneyland with us over the summer. I only do what I'm asked to do, and within the boundaries of what I have time to do, as I have my own child. Just whatever I can do to make things easier for their family and for Gigi, so she doesn't miss out. Gigi's school is organising a Christmas market, and she and her friends volunteered to do a booth, which basically means the parents. She asked me to be part of it because Chris is really busy with work around the holiday period. I confirmed with Chris that this was the case, and he was really enthusiastic about me doing it because it involves crafts, which he doesn't have time for. He is helping construct the physical booth, though, so I got my daughter involved, and Gigi and her friends came over to my house to make stuff for the booth all together. We are even making costumes. I thought I was doing a good thing, and Gigi seemed so excited. But on Friday, Anna called me and chewed me out. Apparently, she was never okay with me being involved with the booth. She said Chris building it was enough, and I should have just stayed out of it. I said that Gigi asked me because they needed adults to help out on the day, but Anna said she was sick of me taking over all the mum stuff, and that Gigi needed to learn that if her parents couldn't make it, that's just the way it is. She can't just replace Anna with me. I told her that that seems unfair to Gigi to not be able to do things just because one of her parents isn't able to be there. There have been times I've taken Gigi to birthday parties that need supervision at places like trampoline parks, or taken her to dance competitions where she just didn't want to be the only one there without a female adult to help her change or do her hair and makeup. If I hadn't done those things, Gigi probably would have missed out. Anna said, well, that was Gigi's reality, and she can't just ignore the fact that Anna is her mother, and this is the family that she was born into, not mine. I ended up telling Anna that I never meant to disrespect her, but that I made a commitment to Gigi and to the other parents, so I'm going to do the booth. But after that, if she and Chris want me to step back, then I will. Honestly, I'm really upset about the whole thing. I have my own child. It's not like I'm trying to play mum to Gigi. I just want her to feel supported and not miss out on anything. Chris does his best, but he works crazy hours to support Anna and Gigi. I thought it was a good thing that they had a village to help out, as Anna's family isn't local. I thought since Gigi would come to me for these things that we were doing right by her. It seems so unfair that she should not have the same experiences as her friends because of something out of everyone's control. But I'm not her parent, and Anna is, and if Anna doesn't mind Gigi missing out, then maybe that's not my business. My own mum thinks Anna is being unfair to Gigi with this request, but my mum was the super involved type, and I know there are tons of kids whose parents don't make it to everything. So maybe we're just an overbearing type, and I went too far. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Because I see this coming a lot, the reason the craft session was at my house is because one of the other girls was supposed to host it, but the house is too small for all the girls to be taking over the whole living room. The mum also has another child and was worried about supervising all the kids the whole day. She messaged me privately and asked if I had the space and time to host, and I did. Anna and Chris's place doesn't really have the space in the common area to accommodate the craft making, and I know how stressed Chris is by playdates and probably wouldn't have wanted it at their house. I thought I was helping out that mum by saying yes. I say yes to most things, not because I'm trying to push anyone out or take over, but I guess being a stay-at-home mum to one kid, I feel like it's only fair I should take on a bit of extra kid stuff for other parents where I can. Edit 2 for anyone asking about Anna being driven to things. Driving Anna would mean I would need Chris's car, which he needs for work because he needs to haul stuff around. We can't swap cars because mine can't be used for that stuff, so for me to drive Anna in Chris's car, Chris needs to also not be busy, in which case he wouldn't need help. Chris does drive Anna to dance recitals and sports activities when he is available. Someone says, you're not the a-hole. Hopefully Anna will cool off and be able to see it from your point of view. I think you have got to approach this generously and see it as a part of being disabled. It is not about you, it is her grief for the life she could have had and expected to before this life-destroying infection. Now she feels like she cannot be a good mother to her daughter, and she feels like you are outdoing her with her own kid. It is not about you, it's about Anna's powerlessness and grief. It is about the illness and the disability. Let it cool off, and then see if you can approach it from a place of support and understanding. 10 days later, the OP shares an update regarding the situation with her niece and sister-in-law, stating, "Hi, a lot of people asked for an update and so many people were really kind and helpful, so I thought I would provide one. Chris and Anna came over the weekend to discuss everything. Just to avoid any doubt, Chris always made Anna aware of what I was doing with Gigi, and Anna confirmed this when we met. A lot of people thought maybe Chris was not relaying the information to her. But that's not the case. Obviously, the first topic was what prompted Anna to contact me. It turns out there's a myriad of things that led to it. First, a few weeks ago she read Gigi's journal while using her tablet and was hurt by what she read. I'm not going to share what Gigi said out of respect for her privacy, but it's what you'd imagine a kid in her situation would say. Just obviously sucks for a parent to read. Anna says she's been continuing to check Gigi's journal as a way to connect with her because since the school year, Gigi has been busy with schoolwork and extracurriculars and is not home or engaging a lot when she is. She knows this is wrong and has stopped doing it now, but she and Chris agreed they're going to make sure Gigi's school counselor is aware she might be struggling a bit more than she lets on. Second, Anna recently connected with a woman through an online community who said she doesn't let her kids participate in anything that's not completely accessible for her. Anna says she has tried to soft launch this concept with Chris, but Chris said he never understood the full scope of what she was suggesting, and Anna felt like he wasn't taking her seriously, which is why she decided to go straight to the source, aka me. The third part of this is that Anna has been wanting to move closer to her family. Chris has shut this down as they can't afford a move. It will be tougher for him to find work there, the education is not as good statistically, Gigi is comfortable here, and Anna's home county, let's just say, doesn't offer a very diverse cultural or political experience. It's also very rural. Chris also cited the lack of support system there because while Anna has family, they all have large families of their own and are not financially stable, and he worries about relying on them. This reasoning especially hurt Anna's feelings, which is what caused her to lash out at me, whom she saw as the main reason Chris didn't want to move, although that's not the case. From the discussion, it seems Anna and Chris are really at an impasse about the move, and Anna said she has considered moving on her own. Anna went on to say that I'm not who she'd have picked for a female role model for her daughter, to which I said I'm not trying to be one. I'm just trying to make sure Gigi doesn't miss out on important childhood experiences, but I reiterated that I'm not going to force my help on them if it's not a 2-yes situation, because I wouldn't want any of my in-laws to do that. Chris and Anna strongly disagree on this issue, and it was just devolving into an argument that I think they should have in private, so until they settle that, I've decided to help with driving only, no extra activities. And I'm also going to try and help with non-Gigi stuff, so that it might free Chris up a little to do more things. I'm going to take over grocery shopping and hopefully talk Chris into at least letting me contribute some money towards the cost. And I've asked an acquaintance of mine to get in contact with Chris. She can maybe do an audit of their finances and see where they can move things around to lighten the load. Maybe not, but it's worth a shot. My husband and I are thinking of getting Chris a gas card for Christmas to help with expenses. If anyone has ideas on how to help without being overbearing, I'm open to suggestions. So, for now, I think it's best that I step back from extra activities with Gigi. I'm not here to cause issues in anyone's marriage, and I do think of parenting as a 2-yes, 1-no thing, for the most part. Fundamentally, I think a lot of you were right. This has ended up being more about Chris and Anna's marriage than anything to do with me. There's more going on there that I won't share because it's not really relevant and personal between them. They need to work it out, and I'm definitely not going to insert myself by going off Chris's preferences when I know one parent isn't okay with it. This is a very complex situation, and I really just want the best for everyone, contrary to some people's belief, so I'm just going to focus on the ways I can make an impact. I feel bad that Gigi might be hurt that I'm less active in the new year, but I'm also hopeful that Chris and Anna will use the Christmas break to really talk and figure out a path forward. If I've missed anything, please let me know, but otherwise thank you to everyone who commented, and especially to disabled parents who shared their perspectives with me. Edit. Just to be clear, I'm not totally stepping out of Gigi's life. I'm still going to do drop-offs and pick-ups from extracurriculars, school and friends' houses. When I say step back, I'm talking about not doing dance mum duty or hosting playdates. We're hoping easing Chris's burdens will free him up to take over that stuff so Gigi isn't disadvantaged. A Reddit user says, "This is a hard read for me. My mother is disabled and it has changed what she can do and what we can do as a family. But she would never put limits on me. I'm an adult with my own just grown-up kids now, or prevent me from having experiences just because she can't do things. I understand Anna is sad and limited, and the world is not set up well for disabled people, and it's awful. I feel for her. But to limit your own child's life deliberately is so wrong. I applaud you for allowing Gigi to have other experiences, and honestly, it's normal for aunts and grandmas to do things with their family members when mothers can't. Let's face it, not everyone has the time nor inclination to be glitter crafting with a bunch of preteens." OP responds, "I agree. It's not a choice I would make, but seeing how hostile things have gotten between Chris and Anna over this issue, I know it's spilling into their home. If stepping back and helping in other ways can alleviate that pressure, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm just really hoping that by taking some of the burden off Chris, he's going to be able to spend more time with Gigi. I'll teach him how to do hair and makeup for dance if I have to. Laughs. I don't want to unwittingly be a roadblock in someone's marriage or family life, but I really want to help how I can. A Reddit user says, honestly, it sounds like they're heading for a divorce. It seems to me that Anna isn't handling her situation well, which I understand, but she's desperately trying to grasp at solutions that just aren't viable. They need the help, but she doesn't want it to be you. She wants to move to her family, but they can't afford the loss of work, stability, or reliable assistance. She wants to be involved in every part of her daughter's life, but that would limit her daughter's life drastically. Anna is desperate, but she's expressing it in destructive ways. Is Anna seeing a therapist that specializes in disability? Because without some supportive mental health help with her condition, the outcomes are these. Anna leaves to live with her family and causes a divorce, then realizes her country has even fewer resources and assistance in a rural area for mobility accommodations. Anna stays, continues to get bitter, and lash out at her family and causes a divorce through a complete lack of emotional management. Or, lastly, Anna unalives herself out of misery and feeling left behind. I don't know what all you can or even should do in this situation, but Anna's mental health is getting pretty damn dire if she's being this irrational about things. It's a sign of how she's handling her disability transition. OP responds, I don't believe she's in therapy, but don't quote me on that. I know that insurance covered a kind of therapy as she was adjusting to her disability, but it was a short course of therapy or counselling because I remember when it ended. I don't know or think long-term therapy is covered, but I could be wrong. Chris has never mentioned therapy. Chris very much doesn't want a divorce, even though from what I gathered from the conversation, they seem to be functionally separated, although they live together. But Chris can't afford to pay for a second household, nor would he ever want to leave Anna with no income. A Reddit user says, honestly, Anna needs intensive therapy. Being jealous that a kid can enjoy childhood is messed up. If I can't, you can't. For a 10-year-old is just mean. So Gigi won't be able to do dance recitals because her mother can't help with changing and makeup. What about parties? No more playdates in trampoline parks? Anna will ruin your relationship with your niece and most likely her own with her daughter. I'm just so sad for Gigi. She is the most impacted and the only one without a voice. I can imagine her journaling has a lot of, I'm glad Auntie is doing / going. If Auntie can't do / go, I won't go / do. It sucks Mum can't. I should ask Auntie. It looks like everyone forgot that Anna being disabled, and I'm sorry for her, also impacted Gigi. And her mental health is suffering because she can't do things with her mother. And now she won't be able to do it at all. OP responds, she will be able to participate in dance competitions. If we can help Chris have more extra time by assisting with household tasks, my husband even said he would assist Chris with work deliveries, he will hopefully be able to take over. I will teach him to do the hair and makeup, and Gigi attends a great studio where the other mothers will pitch in, so it's not like she will ever be completely on her own. We're aiming to help Chris step in more and not to disadvantage Gigi. All right, folks, that was a roller coaster, wasn't it? I mean, seriously, talk about a family dynamic that's complicated. And hey, I get it, this stuff is real life, messy and unpredictable. But once you start dragging a kid's journal into it and playing blame games in a marriage, oh boy, that's when it goes from zero to chaotic real quick. But before we dive deeper into more chaos, let's hit pause. Did you feel that emotional tug of war as much as I did? Well, if you did, you know what to do. Let me know how you're processing all of this in the comments. Or drop a like if you know the pain of complicated family situations. And make sure to subscribe because there's a ton of stories still to uncover. And if you haven't checked out our other videos yet, what the heck? Why not dive into more unpredictable tales? Until next time.